It's time to build momentum, to interrupt and end race-based hatred and violence.
Hey everybody, welcome. Tracy Brown here, and I'm so glad you joined me today for this episode of Momentum, where we come together on Monday evenings and just take 15-ish minutes every now and then, longer, and sometimes shorter. But the goal typically is 15 minutes or so to build momentum, to remind ourselves why we are committed to interrupting and or ending race-based hatred and violence. And one of the things that I like to remember about building momentum is that it is important for all of us to be involved politically. It is important for all of us to take action as part of organized community events. But momentum is part of the What Is Mine to Do Facebook group, where we especially focus on what do we do when we're in our individual activities, our individual conversations with people we work with or people we worship with or people in our neighborhood. What can we do in our personal interactions that interrupts and supports the end to race-based hatred and violence? So today on Building Momentum, excuse me, I'm going to share a resource because every week, if you've been watching or participating over a few weeks or months, then you know that I try to focus on one tip, one technique, one trend, one resource, one thing that you can think about or practice or prioritize for the next week. And so today it's a resource, and I was going through my bookcase looking for something else and came across a book that is more than 10 years old. And as much as I love some of the resources that I have come across in the last 2 or 3 years, there's something about going back to foundational or powerful reads from the past. And so the resource that I want to share with you, and if you are not already familiar with it, I want to encourage you to purchase it or go to the library and get on, the wait list to read it. And it is this book, Blind Spot, subtitled The Hidden Biases of Good People. Oh my goodness. When this book came out in 2012 or 2013, it was a game changer. Not because everything in it was new information, but because it captured for me and for so many other people how to talk about. It gave us a way to talk about the hidden biases, the unconscious bias that so many people have. And then on top of that, it gave a framework. So the subtitle, The Hidden Biases of Good People. This book actually focuses on all the folks who really are good people, who mean well, who are committed to inclusion, who believe that they are respectful to everyone and that they are not heavily influenced in a negative way by racial stereotypes. The reality is, all of us who live in a society where racism has prevailed and has had so much power and authority and influence systems and legislation and the way that so many things in our society are structured, all of us are affected by racism, and mostly in a negative way. And so the good people, the people who mean well, the people who think they're doing their work or who are doing their work, not even thinking, who are doing their work, this book really did a good job. Blind spots. And of course, it looks red here because I have a green screen behind me. But it really did a good job of helping all of us see what we're blind to that can then show up in us treating people differently or unfairly. This is a quote from the book jacket. Blind spot is the author's metaphor for the portion of the mind that houses hidden biases. Writing with simplicity and verve, Banaji and Greenwald question the extent to which our perceptions of social groups, without our awareness or conscious control, how our perceptions shape our likes and dislikes and our judgments about people's character, abilities, and potential. In Blind Spot, the authors reveal hidden biases based on their experience with the implicit association test, a method that has revolutionized the way scientists learn about the human mind and gives us a glimpse into what lies within that metaphorical blind spot. So, if you are not familiar with the book Blind Spot, if you have not read it, it's definitely worth the read. It's especially good if you are doing work to make sure as much as possible that you are respectful of all people and that you are engaged with people from different racial and ethnic groups. And one of the things that I love about this book, and um, there are great stories about the development of the IAT, the implicit association test, that allows us to see our unconscious biases in lots of different areas, including race. But in the book, especially in the first part of the book, the authors provide a variety of visual tests where you're looking at them and your eyes and your brain are sure it knows what it's looking at, right? And invariably, for most of us, we get it wrong. So I don't know if I'll be able to show them here. Yeah, this one. So it's like, oh, our eyes perceive something a certain way, and we're sure that two of those squares that are marked are different shades of gray, and it shows us how, oh, your eyes are deceiving you. Or this one, which many of you may have seen before, where you've got the two tables, and the question is, are these tables the same size? And if you're looking at them, unless you've taken this before, your brain is telling you, no, those two tables are not exactly the same in shape and size, but they actually are. It's the way they're positioned, it's the way that our brain processes what it sees and tells us with confidence those two tables are not the same. shape, or size. So in the book, in the first part of the book, the authors do a really good job of making us go, oh, well, if that's happening there, where else can it be happening? And introducing the IAT, the implicit association test, and how that actually works. And they don't just use examples with people, as you've already seen. They use examples with nature. They use examples that make it easy to understand just how simple it can be for us to misperceive what is actually right in front of us. And then the book goes on to show us all and remind us all of different categories where we make assumptions and how that can harm our relationships or harm us in our communities. And if you're someone who likes data, there are some sections in the book that are heavy on data. And then there are some sections in the book that are really heavy on real life examples related to how we have been trained to make assumptions based on race. So, again, that's the tip for the week. Check out the resource Blind Spot. It is not difficult to find, and many libraries have had it available. With our current political polarity environment, I can't guarantee you that your library will have it available, but in the past it has been very easily and readily available, and it is still available for purchase in ebook format, paperback, and hardback. So, Blind Spot, Hidden Biases of Good People. If you're one of the good people and you want to see how you can better recognize biases that you didn't know were affecting your assumptions and the relationships you are building, then this is the book for you. My name is Tracy Brown. Please check us out over on Facebook in the What Is Mine to Do Facebook group, where we ask ourselves and each other every day, what is mine to do to interrupt or end race-based hatred and violence? I'll see you again next week on Momentum right here.